Most people think starting a company in Lesotho is slow, complicated, and full of paperwork traps. But here's the truth no one tells you. The system is actually straightforward if you understand the exact order of steps and avoid the small mistakes that delay most beginners. The biggest mistake you need to avoid is jumping into registration without understanding your company's structure and legal requirements first. That one mistake alone is why many applications get rejected or delayed for weeks. Here's exactly what you will learn today. You will understand how to choose the right company type in Lesotho, how to register it step by step, what documents you need, how long the process takes, what it costs, and how both locals and foreign investors can legally operate a business. And in a minute, I'll show you the simple step most people skip that causes unnecessary delays during registration. Let's break it down clearly. To start a company in Lesotho, you first need to understand how the business environment works. Lesotho is a small but strategically positioned country in southern Africa. It is closely linked to South Africa's economy, which makes it attractive for trade, services, agriculture, manufacturing, and cross-border business activities. Because of this connection, Lesotho has structured its company registration system to encourage investment while still maintaining legal control. The main authority responsible for business registration is the Office of the Registrar General, operating under the Ministry of Law and Justice. Now here's where it gets interesting. Lesotho has been improving its business registration system to make it more accessible, but many people still struggle because they do not prepare properly before applying. The process itself is not the problem. Preparation is. Let's start with the most important decision: choosing your company type. In Lesotho, the most common business structures include sole proprietorships, private limited companies, and public companies. For most entrepreneurs, especially small and medium businesses, the private limited company is the most important structure. Why? Because it separates your personal assets from your business liabilities. That means if your company faces debt or legal issues, your personal property is generally protected. Now imagine someone like John, a small business owner, who wants to open a construction supply company in Maseru. If John chooses a sole proprietorship, he is personally responsible for all debts. But if he chooses a private limited company, his personal finances are protected. That difference alone can change his entire risk profile. But here's the problem most beginners face. They choose based on simplicity instead of strategy. And later they realize they picked the wrong structure when the business starts growing. So always think long term. Once you choose your company type, the next step is name reservation. This means you must choose a unique business name and submit it for approval to ensure it is not already taken or too similar to an existing company. Now here's where most people fail. They rush this step and only submit one name. If it gets rejected, they lose time and have to restart the process. The smarter approach is to prepare at least 3 to 5 name options in advance. For example, if Alex wants to start a logistics company, he might prepare names like Alex Global Logistics, Highland Transport Services, and Maseru Freight Solutions. If one is rejected, he still has backup options ready. After your name is approved, you move to preparing your incorporation documents. This is a critical stage. You will need to draft your memorandum and articles of association. These documents define how your company operates. They explain who the shareholders are, how profits are shared, how decisions are made, and what powers directors have. Think of it like the rulebook of your company. Without it, your business has no legal structure. Now here's where it gets interesting. Many people in Lesotho try to copy generic templates from the internet. That often leads to rejection or future legal confusion. The best approach is to customize your documents based on your actual business activities. For example, if John is running a construction supply company, his documents should clearly reflect procurement, supply contracts, and distribution processes. That level of detail helps avoid legal confusion later. Once your documents are ready, the next step is submission to the Registrar General's office. You will submit your application form, name reservation certificate, incorporation documents, and identification documents. If you are a foreign investor, you may also need additional documentation such as a valid passport, and sometimes proof of residence or investment intentions. At this stage, the authorities review your application for compliance. If everything is correct, your company will be officially registered, and you will receive a certificate of incorporation. And in a minute, I'll show you the one mistake that causes most rejection delays even when people think everything is correct. Now, let's talk about timing. In Lesotho, company registration can take a few days to a few weeks, depending on how complete your documents are. If everything is properly prepared, the process is relatively fast. But if documents are inconsistent or incomplete, delays are very common. This is why preparation is more important than speed. Once your company is registered, the next step is tax registration. You must register with the Lesotho Revenue Authority to obtain a tax identification number. This is required for invoicing, reporting income, and legally operating a business. Lesotho's tax system includes corporate tax, value-added tax for eligible businesses, and other sector-specific obligations depending on your industry. Now here's something many beginners don't realize. Even small businesses must stay compliant with tax regulations. Ignoring tax obligations can lead to penalties or restrictions on business operations. After tax registration, you may need to open a business bank account. This is important because it separates your personal money from your company finances. Banks will typically require your incorporation certificate, identification documents, and tax registration details. Some banks may also ask for a basic business plan depending on your company type. But here's the problem many entrepreneurs face. Their documents are not consistent across all platforms. For example, the company name might be slightly different on bank forms compared to registration documents. That alone can delay approval. So consistency is critical. Depending on your business type, you may also need additional licenses or permits. For example, businesses in construction, transport, food services, or import and export may require sector-specific approvals. Now let's walk through a real-world example so everything becomes clear. Imagine Sarah, an entrepreneur from South Africa, wants to start a textile trading company in Lesotho. First, she selects a private limited company structure. Then she prepares multiple name options and gets one approved. Next, she drafts her incorporation documents with clear details about importing and distributing textiles. She submits everything to the Registrar General's office and waits for approval. After incorporation, she registers for tax identification, opens a bank account, and applies for any trade-related permits. Within a structured timeline, her business becomes fully operational. Now here is where most people succeed or fail. Success depends on preparation, not complexity. Let's quickly break down common mistakes you must avoid. The first mistake is submitting incomplete documents. The second is choosing a company structure without thinking long-term. The third is not preparing backup names during name reservation. The fourth is inconsistent information across documents. Each of these mistakes can delay your process significantly. Now let's talk about ongoing compliance. Once your company is registered in Lesotho, you must maintain proper accounting records, file tax returns, and renew any required licenses. This ensures your business remains legally active and avoids penalties. Think of registration as the starting point. Compliance is what keeps your business alive. Finally, let's summarize everything clearly. To start a company in Lesotho, you choose your company structure, reserve a business name, prepare and submit incorporation documents, register with the Registrar General, obtain tax identification, open a business bank account, and apply for any necessary licenses. After that, you maintain compliance through proper reporting and taxation. The benefit of understanding this process is simple. You avoid delays, reduce stress, and launch your business with confidence instead of confusion. If you follow these steps carefully, starting a company in Lesotho becomes a structured and predictable process. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to like the video, leave a comment if you want a breakdown for another country or business type, and subscribe for more clear and practical business guides like this. It helps you stay informed and make smarter business decisions.